Don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. It's mission inspiration time again. So it's the first Saturday in a brand new month, February. So it's time for a brand new art challenge over on our Mission Inspiration Facebook group. So I'll turn over to my overhead camera. I'll show you the prompt for February, which was randomly chosen, and then we'll get cracking on the project. Okay, so this is the prompt sheet, or the prompt that was pulled out from random from the box. So it is location, taking maps as your inspiration, street and road, topographic, or a secret treasure map. So, and it just so happens that my thought for doing the covers for my Mission Inspiration journal this year, I was going to use maps. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to combine doing both the covers and also my project sheet. So I've already printed off, or I had already printed off some map sheets, and I'd also this morning received through the post some new craft card for my packaging, which is what I do the stencils and my MDFs and that kind of stuff in. But it was wrapped in this fantastic kind of grey grunge board. It's not thick, but it's strong enough to do an art journal page project on. So I've cut a piece and already punched the holes ready to fit in the journal, and just kind of preempting myself. And I've got my boards now for my journal. I don't think I'm going to bother with the hinges just yet on this one. I want to stick the covers down first. So that was last month's, and I've taken the front cover off. Actually, I'm going to have to dismember the whole thing, really, aren't I? Dismantle. I know it's a similar word, but it's not as nice, is it? Disassemble. There we go. So that's going to be my art journal page. This is going to be my covers. So what I've done is I've printed off two maps. One of Europe and the British Isles, the other one just of Great Britain. And then the inside pages, I'm going to use some Gazetteer Index of the World. So they're going to be the inside for the covers. So, and I've printed them out relatively the same size as the page. So there's not going to be much overhang once I've actually cut those out. Now let me just widen out a little bit. That's probably a little bit better. There we go. So there's not going to be much kind of overhang once they're stuck down, which makes things a lot easier. And then I can kind of decorate to my heart's content afterwards. So what I need to do first of all is just cut out these four front covers, and then we can get them stuck onto the covers there, and then we can crack on. Okay, so there's my two inside front covers. There's my front cover, and now my back cover. So what I want to do now is just to grunge and age these up just a little bit. And to do that, I'm going to be using a product from our friend Tim. So I'll just have to locate it. God, I got the right teeth in today. I have bought a brand new tub of the vintage medium of his, but I don't know what I've done with it. So let me just go and find it and I'll be right back. Okay, so Tim Holtz Distress Collage Medium in the vintage colour. Brand new tub, never been opened. Ugh. And you always get that kind of grungy stuff around the top. So I'll just throw that to one side on a bit of scrap. Okay, so I've got a brush. It's almost like using caramel. So I'm just going to paint all the way over the top, just to kind of grunge everything up. Let it soak into the paper. And I'm not bothered if it's darker in some areas, lighter in others. I don't particularly want a uniform effect. I want this map to look a bit aged. So I'm going to do just the outside covers for today. I'll do the inside covers on another day, just because I want to be able to finish off and work with it. And I can't do that if I've got both sides that I need to wait to dry. I know it doesn't take long, and you can hurry it up with your heat gun. Don't mind those darker areas, which I will do. Okay, so that's a couple of coats. Probably won't be the last, but that's a couple of coats of that Distress Medium just on those covers. You can see it's started to grunge and dirty up quite nicely. If you haven't got access to this Distress Collage Medium, especially the vintage one, then don't be afraid to experiment with matte medium and a little bit of brown paint or a little bit of brown ink and just mix them up. You probably will get the same kind of effect. So if you haven't got access to that, then you can always make your own. Like I said, this probably won't be the last coat, so I'll get these dried off and then I'll be right back. Okay, so they're pretty much dry now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to further grunge up the edges using the Vintage Photo archival ink. So this is the solvent-based one, not the water-based one. If you use the water-based one, it probably won't stick or stay on as well as the solvent-based one, because you're putting it over what you've just created using that collage medium is pretty much like a non-porous surface. So using the solvent-based version, God blimey. Hang on. Kick my brain back into gear. By using the solvent-based one, it will cling and it will stick to that non-porous surface. And again, you can go as light or as dark as you want to. And you don't have to use the vintage photo one if you wanted to add a different colour tinge to it, if you wanted to use a blue colour or a green colour or whatever. You know, whatever floats your boat. Whatever blows your hair back, apparently, is a phrase. Thank you, Amanda. I'd never heard that before until my friend in Maryland, Amanda, used it, which I think is great. Fabulous phrase. Okay, so I'm going to do the same with this side. So, and watching me distress the edges can't be all that interesting for you, so I'll do this and then I'll be back. Okay, so the covers are dry and now nice and grungy. Perfect. I just want to add a quick title onto the front. So, excuse me. So I've just quickly printed out Mission Inspiration and the year 2020, which I'm going to stick down using that collage medium again. So I'm going to add a little bit more. I've just got a smaller brush this time. Just add that down. Just add a little bit to the back. And then I'm just going to lay that across there, and then I'm going to just go over the top, which will then just start to build up that kind of faded edge. A little bit there, just a little bit on the back. Probably doesn't need it on the back, but I'm putting it on anyway. And then 2022 just down there. At a bit of an angle. That'll do. Don't mind a bit of a Katie corner. There we go. Mission Inspiration 2022. Quick and easy. So now we've got the covers done, I can get on with doing my actual page for the month, which is what I intended to do when I sat down. Okay, so we're back. The journal is completely dry now. There's a bit of a shine on those covers, all kind of antique-y looking, and we've got the gazetteer on the inside, and that was January's art journal page that we did based on those prompts for last year. Like I said, I haven't done the inside, I haven't aged the insides just yet, so they can just be put to one side. So here is that piece of grey grunge board that I got in the packaging from the parcel this morning. So this is going to be my page. So I've got another page of those gazetteer bits. So what I want to do is just quickly cut some strips from there. Now, for once, or as I was just trying to get my brain to work, I'm not going to be using paint today at all. So no paint. So the colours that were in the prompt sheet, which was the red, sorry, not the red, the green and the blue, I'm going to pick out in other ways. Okay, so there's that gazetteer sheet. So what I want to do is I'm going to use this, and I'm going to tear it down there, and I'm going to tear that down there and stick those on as they are. So they're going to form kind of the basis there and there. So let's just fold about there. Just so I've got an idea. Actually, it might be easier if I just cut them, won't it? It's going to be about there. Yeah, it'd be easier if I just cut those. Less stressful. This is turning into a stream of consciousness page. I kind of know what I'm going for, but haven't fully worked out the mechanics. Is that better? Yes, much. Right. Glue. Let's get some glue down. Okay, so that's that bit, and then we'll just daub that in the middle. Alright, so that's going to go there. So this bit, let's just turn that over. Should have done this to start off with. Like I said, brain not functioning properly at the moment. In the time, a few seconds for you of me finishing doing the journals and starting this bit has actually been about 2 hours for me, and I've had to whip over to Mum and Dad's to take Mum some medication because she's come down with a cold. I've checked everything else, done the test on her, all that kind of stuff. She hasn't got anything untoward, no COVID or anything. She's just picked up a bit of a head cold from somewhere. Goodness knows where, because she never goes out unless she's with me. So, and the last time she went out was Thursday. So, yeah. Actually, no, she didn't go out on Thursday because she didn't need any shopping. So it was over a week ago, so she can't have picked it up from anywhere unless Dad's brought it in. And he's fine. So it's a bit of a strange one. So she's got a head cold from somewhere, but we don't know where. But she's just a bit kind of chesty. She's got a bit of a headache, which she says is due to sinuses, which I can relate to because I suffer with mine. And that's about it. So I've taken her over some sinus relief tablets and some paracetamols for just so she feels better. Right, okay, so we've got that. So what I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to layer this by just tearing that down there. So this is a map of South Yorkshire, which is where we live. So we're about here on this map. So let's put that about there. So that's going to go down to about there, so I'm happy with that. So I'll get some glue, and I have printed on the back of a sheet that I didn't need. So this was an old Halloween sheet which I didn't need, so rather than waste not, I've printed on the reverse. See, frugal too. Okay, so there's that. So that can go on there. Don't forget, prompt is location, location, so it's all about maps. Or about specific locations. You could do one about a specific city if you wanted to. So you could do one like a street map of like Paris or New York or something like that, rather than a particular area or a region. Take it down to street level if you wanted to. I'm going to be doing a little bit of that in a second when I go on to my next bit. Okay, so we've got, it's a bit raggy down there, isn't it? It's a bit rubbish. Bit of shoddy cutting on my part, but never mind. Right, okay, so we've now got that. So I'm going to bring in some of that blue and the green. So I've got some washi tape. So this has got blue and green in it. So I'll bring some of that in and we'll mirror over there, and we'll bring that green in. Let's see if I can find the end. Oh, do you know? There it is. There are so many different tips and techniques on how not to lose the end of your washi tape, and I never listen to any of them because I'm stupid. Dumbo. Right. Just fold that bit over. Okay, so I've also got some with some writing on, which I'm going to use. Just a little. Like that. Just to kind of create a little bit of a frame. There we go. Now, there are kind of like orangey rusty colours in there, but I thought what I'd do is I'd also use this washi tape that's got maps on it, which is just ideal. But there's gold on that, but that's fine. Okay, so we're getting there. Let me just pop some holes just so I don't forget where they are. There we go. So there's those bits of washi tape. So we've got maps, bits of maps there, bits of maps there. We've got blues and we've got greens. There's bits of rusts in there. But also, now then, I did bring something else with me. Ah, there it is. Okay, so what I've also done is I've gone onto Google Maps and I've printed an aerial shot of the house where we live. So let me just cut this bit out. Because this is okie dokes. So this is an aerial view of where we live. So this is the street here. Our house is the second one, just this one in the middle. Don't know whether you can just see that there. That's the green in front of the house, the little parky area, and that's the cemetery. So that's just us there. Now I've got this little chipboard heart, which is just big enough to fit over the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a pen like so. I'm just going to push it down and I'm going to draw around it. There we go. And then I'll have to use my big scissors rather than my little ones. And I'm going to just cut on the inside of the shape. rather than the outside. Just do it really, really, really carefully. So this MDF heart is from, well, actually I was going to say it is from one of the Prim heart sets that's just got back in the website, but actually it's not. This was a smaller one that I just used on the sheet as a space filler rather than waste the rest of the sheet. The ones that you get in the kit are a bit bigger. Okay, so that is the heart shape that's going to fit onto that MDF. So let's get some glue. I'm going to use something a bit stronger this time. I'm hoping this glossy accent's going to work. No. Always clogs up. So we'll have to use that other glue. Okay. Okay, so we've got the glue, and then let's just drop the heart over the top. And then I can just gently bring in my emery board and then just gently shave off the excess. Because I'm using the emery board, it's just taking off that top layer of colour from the printer just to reveal that paper underneath. But you can still see the house. In that heart. So now bring in my page, and now I'm going to stick that in the area in the map, which is about there. So it's a bit off centre, but never mind. But we don't mind a bit of off centre, do we? A bit of blob of glue underneath. Come on. Don't know why this has decided to gum up all of a sudden. Well, I do know, it's because I keep leaving the lid off. That's it. Gotcha. And then we'll just use a bit of excess paper just to spread that glue about a bit. There we go. And then somewhere so that's that, and then I've got my little slogan. And that can sit on there like that. So, but I think for this I'm also going to use a little bit of that distress medium. I've still got my brush from earlier, which I left in some water. the top, and then I'm also going to go over with some of that medium all over the page just to kind of seal it all in. Give it a little bit of a distress feel. There we go. We'll give that a quick blast. Okay, let's just zoom in a little bit. There we go. Right, so seeing as I'm talking about maps and we're talking about home, then I thought I would just include a couple of quintessentially British kind of icons, really, onto the page. I know it says Yorkshire there, which is kind of like being ripped off, but I just wanted to add a few British things on here. So I've got the very, very familiar Keep Calm and Carry On poster, which I'm going to add over here to this kind of cluster. I've also got the Union flag, often referred to as the Union Jack, but as any good seafaring person will tell you, it's only referred to as the Union Jack when it's at sea. And the British version of the Uncle Sam poster, this is Lord Kitchener, which I think will go just down there, just to kind of finish off. And I'm going to add those on with that matte medium. Actually, what I might do is I might hang that flag from up there, actually, and maybe just add that Keep Calm and Carry On over there, and then add Mr. Kitchener over here. But yeah, I think I like that. I prefer that composition a bit more. So let's get that stuck down. I know recently there's been kind of like discussions about patriotism, thinly disguised patriotism, being disguised as xenophobia, or xenophobia being disguised as patriotism. I think every country kind of has problems with that, particularly when you have a strong national identity. And I know British people can be accused of colonialism. You know, as an ordinary everyday person, don't think of places like America or Australia as colonies anymore, or even places in Africa. May refer to it as the colonies as a tongue-in-cheek kind of reference, but not in any kind of serious kind of way. Certainly not. But being part of the steampunk community, the whole steampunk thing has been, looked at with, as being colonialist and all that kind of stuff, which it isn't really. It's just a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun of dressing up. People read too much into it these days. Okay, let's give that a quick blast. There we go. Okay, so yes, I am British. I'm proud of being being British, but I'm certainly not fanatical about it. There we go. Like it. So that, I think, is going to be it for my art journal page for February, which is a location. So we've got plenty of maps in there. We've got the blue and the green, and there's definitely some rusty kind of orangey colours in there too. So there you go. There's my home is where the art is. Just there in that little picture. So I hope you enjoyed watching me create my art journal page for February's mission inspiration. If you have, please remember to give the video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. So all that I have to do now is literally just sign and date it. So I'm just going to sign it there, and today's date is, it's the 5th of Feb, so 5/2/22. So there you go. That's all from me. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.